What a fantastic night to be a Tottenham fan, to be a Tottenham player, beating Elfsborg 3-0, guaranteeing our safe passage into the last 16 of the Europa League, and 3 academy graduates getting on the score sheet. It was so wholesome to watch it, and it was a much better performance from Tottenham. I think it was one where we can just sit back and say it was much more like it, dominating the ball, dominating possession, created plenty of chances, scoring 3 goals, keeping a clean sheet and finishing inside that top 8 of the Europa League to make sure we don't have to go through the playoffs and we can have a couple of extra weeks off to get those players back fit and ready for the title charge going into the final few months of the season. Bilbao is waiting. Tottenham have the chance now over 2-legged ties to make it all the way to that final and lift a trophy. We are on course. We've done our job, and it was a great game to sort of end the league phase of the Europa League on. It didn't start necessarily great. I think the pattern of the play against Elfsborg was always going to be that they let us have the ball and they were going to set up in their back 5 shape defensively. They were very rigid. I think Elfsborg were or are the lowest sort of percentage ranked possession team in the competition this season. So naturally, Tottenham were going to keep all of the ball on the night. We had 81% possession by the end of the night. That is absolutely insane, even for Tottenham's standards. Expected goals 1.56. We ended up scoring 3. So it shows that Elfsborg actually did really defend very well. 21 shots from Spurs compared to their 4. Elfsborg didn't manage a shot on target. So we snuffed them out and kept them very quiet. I don't actually think Brandon Austin had to make a single save in the game, which is not very often we say that Tottenham are very rarely threatened in their defensive third in the penalty box. So yeah, really pleasing to see that. 11 shots on target for Spurs, but only the 1 big chance created. We did struggle a little bit in phases in the game, and it took a throw of the dice from Ange Postecoglou to be able to win the game. He threw on Dane Scarlett, and the reception was a mixed one. And those of you that are very up to date with your loan and your knowledge of the rules when it comes to loaning out players, Dane Scarlett now cannot leave Tottenham on loan again this season because you cannot play for more than 3 clubs in a single campaign, and he has now done that with Tottenham in his 2 loan spells, so he will remain at Tottenham for the rest of the season, but he has scored. Reports coming out saying that Will Lancashire now is set to head out on loan to the Championship, so maybe that explains why Dane was in the squad and why he came on, and he scored. He opened the score, and it was a fantastic ball into the box from Dejan Kulusevski. Where were we? I think we were 70 minutes in, so we're getting to the final 20 minutes. Things were a little bit nervy. Tottenham weren't out of that bottom 8. They weren't having to go into a playoff at this point in time. But you got the sense that if Tottenham didn't win that game against Elfsborg, the mood just would have sunk even lower. There would have been even more unrest, even more disappointment across the entire fan base. But it wasn't to be the case. Instead, we were treated. We can all sit here and say, "Oh, come on, let's go and spend this £60 million on Matthias Tell. Let's bring him into a club. Let's sign a defender." But when you see academy kids come off the bench, and Mikey Moore, by the way, who is just phenomenal and he deserved his goal, come off the bench or start and get their goals, get their assists, it's very heartwarming. And these are players that have been at the club since they were very young boys. They've worked their way up from the very bottom right up to getting minutes on the pitch in the Europa League, in an important Europa League game, and scoring a goal. It was a great bit of movement from Dane Scarlett, getting across his man and then just guiding a lovely header, courtesy of Kulusevski's excellent assist into the bottom corner. Really pleased for him to come back and do that, and he got the chance of Dane Scarlett, he's one of our own, around the stadium after that. It was absolutely fantastic. And then to top it off, I know Radu Dragusin sort of went off injured. We have to shuffle things around, and maybe that's the only reason why Damola Ajayi came off of the bench and managed to get some minutes on the pitch. Just turned 19 years old, played only 9 minutes in the match, but he scored, and it was a great finish as well. We played a lovely little link up with Dane Scarlett, playing a 1-2, running around his man and finishing so precisely into the bottom corner. And you could see, as soon as he scored that goal, you could see how much it really meant to him. He was absolutely over the moon, delighted to be able to score for Tottenham, come through that academy rank, come on, make his senior debut and score. And the only thing that could have capped the night off and made it better would have been to see Mikey Moore score. And I think he could tell that, and I think he could feel that the crowd wanted him to do something, because in those final few minutes, Elfsborg knew the game was over. They sort of kind of accepted their fate. I think they were content to just sit and just, see the rest of the game out, whatever. But Mikey Moore had other plans, and he's been that guy, hasn't he? He's had a lot of pressure put on his shoulders this season. He signed that new deal. He's been promoted into the first team. He's got a lot of Premier League and Europa League minutes this season. Obviously had that setback with illness that kept him out for nearly 3 months. Bless him. But he's back now. And I thought he had a really, really good game. He looked bright. He took his players on. He created a lot of chances. And just with a couple of minutes to go, he picks up the ball, wins it. Nice little header from Lucas Bergwall. Picks it up just past the halfway line. Drives into the Elfsborg third, cuts in, and then shoots back across goal, puts it in the corner, and he gets his first goal for Tottenham, and at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. Runs off, does his knee slide, soaks it all up, and why not? Fair play to the lad, because I think he is something special, and I'm really, really glad to see how many minutes he's getting on the pitch and to see how well he can actually play. And he made a difference. He made a difference for Tottenham tonight, and hopefully makes a difference for Tottenham for so many years going forward. And I just feel like this whole video needs to be a positive one, because maybe some of you will sit there and be thinking, all right, Mitch, calm down. We only beat Elfsborg at home. They've played 1 game in 6 weeks. They're playing the Swedish league, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, okay, but when you see the academy kids do well, and you've won, 4 of the last 11 games in all competitions, you cherish the wins a little bit more. And where did Harry Kane come from? He was given the chance in Europe, and then eventually in the Premier League. He made his mark in both competitions, and that's how these stars are born. And that's sometimes why you need to give the minutes to these young players. And I'm really, really happy that Ange did, especially with Ajayi, because, to be honest, most of us have probably never really even heard of him. But the fact that he's done that made a name for himself, and I thought his general play looked really bright as well. So just all round, it was a brilliant performance, a brilliant win. We did the job we needed to do. And now, attention turns to these final couple of days of the transfer window. I know Mickey van der Ven was back today, and he played really well. By the way, he brings so much to that team. How much calmness and composure he brings to that back line, that recovery pace. Everybody just seems a lot safer when Mickey van der Ven is on the pitch, which is brilliant. But we lost Radu Dragusin. He looks like he's done something maybe quite serious to his knee, which is a real shame. We get one back and then one goes again. So for me, that just highlights a need that we have to go out and sign a couple of players before the transfer deadline. The reports say we've put a £60 million bid on the table for Tell from Bayern Munich, but he just has to make his decision. He has to make his mind up, because there are a lot of clubs interested in him. Also, reports emerging today that Tottenham are lining up a £20 million bid for Fikayo Tomori from AC Milan, who's available for transfer this month. So I'd be all for that. If we can now wrap this win under our belts, move in the transfer window, get a couple of players in, and then next week you've got more coming back. Romero's coming back next week. Vicario's coming back next week. Odegaard may be coming back next week. We've got the big games against Liverpool and Aston Villa coming up, and then the Europa League towards the end of next month and the start of March as well. We need to really try and use this to kick on. And regardless of who the opposition is, nights like tonight can be the catalyst for your season to change. And I know I've said that a lot recently, and Brentford away on Sunday is going to be an incredibly tough game, and I'm not sure what to expect out of it. But if we're going to do anything this season, the belief has to be there across the fan base, and most importantly, inside that dressing room. And I just really, really hope that what happened tonight with the young lads and with the win and playing really well and getting through unscathed, I just really hope that gives a little bit of a boost and a little bit of, a flux in confidence, because you can tell we're missing that sometimes. Richie looked lively again. Kulu looked lively when he came on. Son, I thought, had a really excellent first half. I don't think he was ever going to be risked for more than that. We've got to manage these players. But ultimately, guys, we got the win. We got the job done. We're through to the last 16 of the Europa League. I believe the potential opponents for Tottenham are not easy. I believe it is RZ Alkmaar, FC Midtjylland, Galatasaray, or Real Sociedad. So 4 tough opponents there. Regardless, they will go through the playoffs and we will see after that. The draw is then also made on Friday, tomorrow, recording this on Thursday night, so we will find out who we could get in the knockout stages leading up to the final as well. But guys, let me know what you made of the performance tonight in the comments. How well do you think we played? Who was a standout player for you? And just how happy are you to see the academy lads thriving and scoring on the big stage? Because I'm absolutely delighted. Let's hope in the next couple of days Tottenham can get some transfer dealings over the line. Let's hope that we can pick up 3 points at Brentford and actually get a win in the Premier League. That would be amazing. And let's hope we can turn this season around using tonight as that catalyst to springboard ourselves into more positive times. We're still in 3 cup competitions. That's got to be the focus. Let's see what the next few days brings us. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. I will be back very, very soon with either a preview, a transfer video, anything in between. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, come on you Spurs.